Dear friends, day by day, our nation is losing its stability. Almost every section is up in arms against the government and mostly against the central government. The BJP government, which came to power promising jobs for all and development, has done nothing during the last year and a half. As such, job opportunities are being lost for the younger generation. They have nowhere to go. Thus we have in Gujarat, the home state of BJP, the youth are up against the government and the government is not able to hold local elections and has to get the presidential dispensation against it. This is true of almost all the states in our country and almost all the sections of our population. And Mr. Modi, instead of working towards the betterment of the country, he has spent the last 3 months day and night worrying about the elections in Gujarat. I beg your pardon, worrying about the elections in Bihar. Are the elections in Bihar so important for the nation? But he has been there all the time, foul-mouthing their leaders and bad-mouthing the honorable people of Bihar. How dare he insinuate that if the Biharis do not vote for BJP, they are anti-national? This is wrong. This is the direct step towards instability. And if this instability is not stemmed at the bud today, it will lead to very grave consequences for our country. Mr. Modi should remember that he is a temporary leader of a very, very ancient country. Many leaders have been there before him, and many more will be there after him. Therefore, he should not play with the stability of the country. Another very important point that is being neglected in our country, for which though Mr. Modi may not be directly responsible, the whole country, almost every section is responsible for this great harm that is being done to the country, and that is meddling with the security. Our security apparatus are all down and demoralized. The veterans of the Indian Armed Forces are on hunger strike for the last 4 months, and they have been agitating for the last 30 years. And this agitation and hunger strike is now being reflected in the thought process of the serving fraternity. And so, sadly, this armed forces has come to a stage where they cannot assure the security of this country. Even if the armed forces men and women are willing to fight for the country, what will they fight with? Will they fight with rusted arms or with bare hands? The rifle with the infantryman is ancient, it is old, it is slow, it has got a very limited range, it is inaccurate, and it is liable to stoppages. How can the infantryman rely on this weapon in war? Our firepower is dependent upon our artillery, and our artillery guns are of the 1986 vintage. How can the Indian Army take on the Chinese Army, which has got nothing older than 2009? Not one of their arms or equipment is of a vintage earlier than 2009. Our Air Force is lucky to have a few Sukhois, but the number is limited. All other aircrafts, those aircrafts which are few in number, are also outmoded. The weapons that they carry are not of the quality that can win a war today. Our Navy is better off. We make our own ships. But the power, the engine for those ships are imported. Our avionics, the arms on the ship and the ammunition are all imported. Nothing has been done in this country to develop this armament industry that is very much needed for our security. And therefore, I most earnestly entreat the government and particularly Mr. Modi to stop his divisive and undemocratic activities and get down to building the stability and security of the country. We have had enough with our leaders going abroad and telling them that we are a poor country with our arms stretched out for other people's money. This is wrong. What is going on will harm the nation and the generations to come. Therefore, I entreat the government to start thinking more carefully about our stability and our security. Jai Hind.